guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be on this new Revolution Beauty release. Now this is the Kisu palette. So this is an eyeshadow and highlight palette. This is £10. I got mine from the Revolution Beauty website, which I will link down below, and it costs £10. Free shipping over £35, but I didn't spend that much, so I paid £1.99 delivery on this. I ordered it on the Thursday evening when it was launched. It was shipped the next day on the Friday and it arrived to me on the Monday, so pretty quick shipping. So Kisu, and I think that's how you pronounce her name, so I'm sorry if I've said it wrong. She is a German beauty blogger who has over 400k subscribers on YouTube. She also has a very large Instagram following, and this is what the palette looks like. Her palette, or this colour, is very reminiscent of her Instagram because she gravitates towards pastel colours, like a lot of her clothes are very pastel-y, and you know, she likes to take a lot of pictures with pinks in, so very girly colours, so this is quite reflective of that. All of her videos are in German, so I wasn't familiar with her before this launch. This is actually the second launch from a YouTuber in the last week from Revolution Beauty. They had another release with Imogen. I think she's from Imagination or something very similar to that. She brought out like a highlight, contour and setting palette and another eyeshadow palette, and they didn't really speak to me, so I'm not picking those up. So this is what the palette looks like. So it's got the pink on the outside, it's got a very large mirror on the inside, and then these are the shades inside. So when she says that she wants it for everyday wear, you know, these are the traditional everyday wear colours these days. So yes, you have 16 eyeshadows and 2 highlights there. I really like the highlights because for me personally, I'm a very fair person, and usually when they have highlights in these kind of palettes, there's usually probably one, if that will suit my skin tone. So both of these actually suit my skin tone very well. I'm using this as an inner corner highlight, this colour which is Marshmallow, and I'm using this colour on my cheeks today, and I think this one's called Khaleesi or something very similar to that, so I'm sorry if I'm murdering these names. Yes. So out of the 16 eyeshadows, it's split between 8 mattes and 8 shimmers, which I think is pretty good because it usually leans one way or the other. I would say it probably is a very everyday palette because you can create a lot of looks out of this with a variety of mattes and shimmers. So I used this palette today, and I used Gryffindor on my crease, I used October on my crease, I used Clumsy on my outer V, and then I used Rain, which is this gold up here on my lid. I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with Revolution shimmers, as you'll have seen if you watch some of my other videos. I don't think they perform as well as the mattes. The mattes were so pigmented on this palette. They were really good. I only had to tap my brush in a little bit and loads of pigment came out on it. There was only a little bit of fallout as well, like the majority of the pigment stayed on the brush. However, with the shimmers, I feel like you really need to work on them. You need a very good brush. I always use the Makeup Geek foiled eyeshadow brush. That's my favourite brush for applying any kind of shimmers with, because it just picks up the pigment really well. So when I was going into this Rain, I don't know how well you can see it, but I really went into this, and I have used that colour twice now, and it looks an absolute mess in the pan. So yeah, you do really have to work at these, and then even if you go in with a finger or a brush, it kind of gets this kind of film across the top of it. Now you can either get that off from scratching it, or you can stick some sticky tape over the top of it and then pull it off, and then it gets rid of that. But considering I've only used it twice and it's come up with that, it's a little bit disappointing. But I did get this colour to work, and what I did was I sprayed my brush with this. So I did manage to get this colour to work. I sprayed my brush with this Vitamin E Hydrating Mist from Superdrug. This is supposed to be like a MAC Fix Plus dupe, so I used that. It's really cheap and affordable. It's really good, so you should get your hands on that if you can. I really like that. So what I did with that was I sprayed my brush, packed it on, and then I was a little bit concerned about it creasing because the brush was wet, so I put my finger in the shadow and then went over it just with that, as if to kind of set it a little bit, and then that kind of gave me the intensity that I was after. I wish they would apply like that with a brush first time, but when I used it a couple of days ago and I did it just with a brush and it was dry, I didn't get the payout that I was wanting from it. So I would say that if you're using the shimmers, you really need to work at them. I have seen some people online saying that this is a little bit of a copy of the Urban Decay bleached palette. I think it's called bleached or beached, something like that. I don't have that palette because it's just warm tones with a pop of blue. So you can see why they're saying that about this palette. I kind of don't think it's copying that palette because I think Pop of Blue is having a bit of a moment. So I think of your Pat McGrath, I think it's the Mothership palette, and you've got the KKW palette. Everywhere's having a little bit of a moment of warm shades with a pop of blue. So I don't think it's copying it, I just think it's a current trend. So this is the outer packaging of the palette. So it just has Kisu on it in Revolution, and then the little sticker at the back which just says about the weight of the product and all the bump like that. I do wish that the palette had this packaging on it instead of this pink, because I think it's very girly. It's not what I'm after really. It's not me. So I wish that this amazing marble had been put on this palette. I think it would have been amazing. Yeah, just rather than this girly pink, which is not me. I am glad about these eyeshadows as they have the names on the palette. I was so happy with that because a lot of the time Makeup Revolution just put them on a little makeup condom, whatever you want to call that little see-through bit of plastic that comes on the eyeshadows, which will then lose, and then I don't know what any of the eyeshadow names are called. So I'm glad that they actually put them on the palette, which is amazing because now you'll all know what I'm talking about when I reference an eyeshadow. So overall I do actually quite like this eyeshadow palette. I've used it on my eyes today and I've used it a couple of times now. It blends really well. I do love the mattes. You can get the shimmers to work if you put the effort in with them. Yeah, I think it's a good all-round palette. I do think there are a lot of warm neutrals out at the moment, so you might have something like this in your collection, but if you don't, or if you wanted to put Kisu, or if you just love makeup like I do, you might want to pick this up. It's only £10. I think the quality is great for just £10. So yeah, nice little palette. Thanks for watching my video. I'm going to leave you some swatches now, and I will see you again later. Bye!